I speak unto thee this day, and I say that I call thee to declare war upon pride. That is, to declare war upon pride in your own lives, and in this nation, and in this land, and in the lives of others, because pride is abomination. And I say that so often my own people are hindered from obedience unto me by pride. That is, they would rather obey their pride than obey me. And I say this day that I, the living God, do call thee to declare war against pride. For I say that I, the living God, do not call thee to be bound, to be fettered, to be hindered by pride, for I say that the same is abomination unto me. And I say that I do not call thee to subject your members to pride and be different from what it is that I desire of thee. For I say there's a way that I, the living God, have prepared for my people, the humility way. And I say when my people will be accepting and walking in that way, then they are well-pleasing unto me. But I say when the ones who are claiming to be mine will be bowing unto pride, they are bowing unto abomination. I say this day when you look upon the land that ye are in, I say that the nation is ruled by pride and rebellion and stubbornness against me, and now it has developed to the realm of hatefulness and disrespect, total disrespect for me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, will not show mercy unto men who are hating, disrespecting me, and choosing instead to be ruled by pride. Now I say, consider if the covering is pride, how easy it is for pride to filter down. That is, how easy it is for those who do not keep their vision single, that is upon me, to give way to pride. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to live in pride, to partake of pride, to be overwhelmed in pride. Nor do I call thee to be hindered by pride, for the same is abomination unto me. And I say when the ones who are mine will be yielding to pride rather than me, then I say they are displeasing me. For I say they are allowing themselves to be ruled by another master, another lover, and I, the living God, do not ordain it to be so. Now I say if my own people would truly respect my commands unto them, I say that they would not be hindered by pride. But I say there is something in my people that makes them think they get by with disobedience, that makes them think they get by with cheating against me. That is, somehow they imagine in their minds that they do not have to walk circumspectly, that they do not have to walk to live and obey me, but they can somehow get by on me. But I say the truth of it is my people are not meant to get by on me, to slide by and give way to pride, but I say they are meant to render obedience unto me. That is, when I give my commands unto them, they are meant to respect and obey the same. Now I say you are living in a wayward, a perverse, a vile generation, when multitudes are consumed of pride. That is, they are covered in pride, they are ruled by pride, they are in obedience unto pride. But I say if you really knew what a killer pride is, what a murderer it is of the truth, I say you would abhor the same. For I say, when I, the living God, do give thee a command and it entails humility, how often do you turn from the same? That is, how often do you refuse to obey me? Do you refuse to walk in what it is that I have for thee and come forth because you are respecting me and choosing instead to give respect unto pride and be obedient to the darkness of the same? Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to live, to abide in the darkness of pride, but I say that I call thee to come forth in me. And I say that I call thee to be thankful that I give to thee the truth, the light, the mercy of who I am. For I say if you truly will obey me, if you truly will walk uprightly in me, then I say you are well-pleasing unto me. But I say when you are ever choosing to subject yourself to pride, then I say you are shame to my name. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do always give commands that entail humility, and so often my people are too proud to obey the same. That is, they would rather appear as they want to in the eyes of men than appear right before me. And I say they would rather be approved, applauded of men than to take the way that I, the living God, do give them and walk in the same. When I say they are locked in the prison house of pride in disobedience towards me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am calling thee to declare, to wage the war against pride and pull down the same. And I say, if you will indeed be fighting the good fight, if you will indeed be pursuing the course that I've set before thee, you will find it is the humility way. But you will find in the same that it is the way of victory, that it is the way of triumph, the way of who I am. For I say, if you will indeed wage the war against pride, then I say that you will not be taken in the same. That is, taken away from the truth, the light, the mercy that I offer, because you are too proud to humble yourself. Now I say that a man can come all tearful, or a woman likewise, and say sorry, but I say if they do not refuse their pride, they are not sorry at all. For I say that I, the living God, know the workings of pride, and I say they are murderous in their intent. And I say, when any man or woman will be yielding to pride, they are yielding to the very element that seeks to do away with me. And I say they are yielding to the very thing that will cause them to lose out on the mercy, the truth, the light that I provide. Now I say, when you look at the nation, when you look at the land that is sinking lower and lower in the abyss of immorality, lower and lower in the abyss of never-ending spending and all kinds of manner of evil that is taking place throughout the land, I say, do you hear any that is willing to humble themselves and admit the same? No, they go on with proud boasting, they go on with arrogant deceit, and it is because they are ruled by pride. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do provide messengers crying out, and yet men refuse to hear the same. That is, they refuse to subject themselves to me, to the truth, the light, the strength of who I am. I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to be subject to pride on every hand, but I say that I call thee to be subject unto me. That is, not proud of who and what you think you are, but rather seeking to be pleasing me in all that you do. For I say, if you will indeed make sure that I, the living God, am glorified, magnified, and lifted up, then you are well-pleasing unto me. But I say, if you are ever strutting and boasting and exhibiting yourself, what are you doing except showing you're a fool? I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to be foolish by pride, to be deceived by pride, to be overwhelmed by pride. But I say that I call thee to be uplifted and strengthened, directed and guided in the truth, the light, the mercy of who I am. And I say that I call thee to be coming forth rejoicing that it is me you are privileged to love, to serve, and obey. For I say it is me, the living God, who gives to thee the truth and the light upon the path, that you can indeed walk in the same. Now I say this day that I, the living God, never called my people to the drunkenness of pride, nor the murderous intent of the same. Yet I say, when you look upon the natural Jews, what is it that kept them from me? I say it was their stern religious pride that they had built up like thick walls, unable to be penetrated by me. And I say they were so proud of their Judaism, they were so proud of their religiosity, but I say they literally hated me. That is, they chose instead to oppose me, to despise me, and not walk in my way. And I say, if you want to get down to it, it was literally their pride that made them cause me to be crucified, and it was likewise their pride that caused them to come under the wrath revealed. You might say that it was literally their pride that killed them off. I say this day that I, the living God, do not call men to follow pride, for I say that the same is murderous in intent. For I say, when any man will follow pride, he is following the very thing that will murder the truth. And likewise, he is following the thing that will cause him to come under the wrath that will cause his own death. I say this day, do not be following pride, for it is deception, but I say instead be following the truth. And I say, be thankful that I, the living God, will give thee the truth, if you will but receive the same, then you are found well-pleasing unto me. But I say, if you follow pride, if you follow proud messengers, if you follow the vain conceit of the same, you will end in a ditch. Now I say there are multitudes in this wicked generation. They are following blind guides who merely lead them into a ditch, and I say it is all because of pride. I say they love to boast, to strut, to say what great and fabulous ministry they belong to, what wondrous, grand, and mega church they go to, what minister they are paying their tithes to, and oh, how they love it all. But I say it is nothing but religious show, it is nothing but pride, and I say it is abomination unto me. And I say, when they are led astray, when they are led far from me, they love it so. And I say that it all gets back to pride. Now I say this day that I, living God, do not call thee to pride, but I say that I call thee to be humble before me. That is, I call thee to be thankful that it is me, the living God, who does give thee the truth and the light upon the path. And I say that I call thee to be thankful that you can indeed keep going in the way that I give thee, which is the way of truth and light. For I say, if you will be coming forth, accepting my way, then you are indeed well-pleasing unto me. But I say, if you are walking afar off, if you are following after pride, I say you will be found in the way of a fool. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to cheat, to lie, to scheme against me in order to maintain your pride. But I say there are multitudes who have fallen into such a snare, and I say they have been devoured in the same. I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to be defending pride, but I say that I call thee to recognize the same. And I say that I call thee to wage the war against pride until the same is gone from thee. I say this day, do not be a proud boaster, do not be even in quiet pride. For I say there are many who are equally deadly because they live in quiet pride. That is, they will deaden the truth, they will kill the truth, they will murder the righteousness of who I am. And I say they are silent killers, but I say they are murderous just the same. And I say it is because they have given themselves unto pride. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to be working in pride, to be living in pride, to be strutting in pride. But I say that I call thee to humbly know, understand, and realize that it is indeed a great privilege to be allowed to live for me. That is, to come into the way of eternal life. I say, therefore, cherish the same. That is, be willing to accept my truth and apply the truth to your lives, that you can indeed drive out pride. For I say, when you will declare war on the pride and keep up the effort of the war against the same, then you will find that you are indeed well-pleasing unto me. That is, you will find that it is not a difficult, impossible thing to follow me, to obey me, and come forth in my way. But I say, when you are indeed found in pride and being stifled by the same, I say you will have no appetite for me. That is, you will have an appetite for the proud things of the world that make you think you are something that you are not. And I say that because you have no appetite for me, I say that you will cause your spiritual life to be small before me. Now I say you are not meant to be greedy for pride, you are not meant to be driven by pride, and you are not meant to be starving me. But I say you are meant to be feeding the spirit life that I've given unto thee, cherishing the same. And I say you are meant to be fighting the good fight against pride, against the self-loving beast who loves to be proud. And I say you are meant to be thankful that I, the living God, do give thee the truth and the light, that you can indeed walk humbly before me. Now I say this day there are not many in this hour who will release their pride to come into humility and thereby be well-pleasing unto me. But I say the multitude are ever exalting themselves, and it is all in vain. For I say, when a man shall stand before me, if he's been a proud fool, so shall he receive the reward of fools. But I say, when a man shall stand before me, and he's accepted the humility way, and he's died to his pride, then I say he is well-pleasing unto me. I say, when your course is finished, and you stand before me, I would ask thee, what side shall you be on? I say, will you be on the side of pride, or will you be on the side of humility, subjectivity unto me? That is, will you be willing to come forth in the truth, the light, the blessedness that I give each and every day? And will you be willing to accept the correction that keeps you in the direction that I provide?